Borderlands 4 not only saw the first official look at its gameplay, but we've yet to still get a release date. So I didn't think I'd be talking about this game again today, but here we are. And no, we still don't have a release date. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that I've actually got some proof that indicates that it's coming rather quickly. After a tweet that came out of nowhere the other day, we've got some Borderlands 4 news to discuss, which includes, but is not exclusive to, the Borderlands 4 release date is sooner than you think. Now, if you're not new here, you know that I don't like to waste anybody's time, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that we need to talk about, and the main reason why I'm making this video here today, is because of this tweet right here, and I'll break down exactly why right after I read it off for you all. When I'm testing Borderlands 4 on Steam, can you guys who can see my account on a friends list see that I'm playing Borderlands 4? And then he has the answers as yes, no, and what now? Now, why is it so important that Randy Pitchford is playing the game over on Steam? Well, it's quite simple. If the game is currently being playtested for Steam, that would indicate that they're in the late stages of development, and knowing that it has been in development since 2019, that would make complete sense. So not only is Randy Pitchford's goofy ass playing the game on Steam as I am currently speaking to you, but this solidifies that the game is a lot sooner than you might think, as we're almost a month removed from having seen just a little bit of gameplay, not a whole lot just yet. And if we're talking historically when it comes to Gearbox and Borderlands releases, they usually come out about 6 months after the initial reveal, meaning that we definitely have a new trailer on the way which will reveal the official release date. And the reason I know this is they keep saying more is coming, and obviously the game has already been announced to be coming out in 2025, but on top of that, about a week ago, we had Sam Winkler, the lead writer of these steaming piles of shit, mention how they're getting ready to ship these games off in 2025, confirming that even though they aim to release the game during the 2026 fiscal year, that it will still be releasing during the calendar year of 2025. And on top of this report, we have 2K, the company responsible for buying Gearbox as of last year, is also the same company who owns Rockstar Games, the developer of a little game known as Grand Theft Auto 6. But late last year, 2K Interactive came out and said that they will not be stacking the releases of AAA titles unnecessarily, as it makes no sense to do so. So anyone worried about them releasing so close to GTA, you can go ahead and just rest easy for now, as GTA is likely to release in Q4 of this year, while Borderlands 4 is more likely to come out around the summertime. I personally see Borderlands 4 coming out from May to July, and while that may seem a little bit soon for a lot of you, just hold tight, because I can promise you with all of the tweets and all of the Borderlands accounts that Gearbox has been marketing lately, there's definitely something else right around the corner, but we just need to sit tight. And I know, like myself, a lot of you guys are still feeling a little iffy about the project, but I've just been trying to keep hope alive, as I think that's the best thing we can do, as without hope, what do we really have? Anger, hatred. I think that we just need to try and save those emotions for when we actually see more of the game and have more of a valid reason to do so, as even myself, I in the past have gotten pissed off about things this company has done, and I know a lot of you are right there with me, and that is completely justified, and feel free to air out any frustrations you have down in the comments below. I am here just to simply give you my opinion and keep you updated on what's going on with Borderlands. I'm not here to change your mind, whether you are hyped up for the game or you actually think it's just going to completely flop, fail, and fumble, and the company's just going to go bankrupt. If that's what you think, that's completely fine as well. I'm just here to report on what is currently going on with the company, but more importantly, my favorite franchise of all time. Because while we've seen a little bit of gameplay, and even I went on record saying that it looked kind of mid, there were still things that I liked about the trailer, but nothing really makes me overly excited at the same time. It's just one of those things where time is going to be the tell-all, as them moving over to the Unreal Engine 5 so late in development is a big worry, but I personally don't have too much experience with games on the Unreal Engine 5, and the ones that I have played haven't had that many issues. While they have had some, the ones that I've tried out, there hasn't been anything where I'm like, this is like the buggiest, laggiest piece of shit game that I've ever played. So it's not the hugest worry in the world, but I'm aware of the Unreal Engine 5 doomers that think it's like the worst thing ever. And it's just one of those things where I'm going to have to wait and play it for myself. I'm going to have to wait and see how Borderlands 4 actually plays on it, because as we all know, the game was really developed on Unreal Engine 4 for a majority of its development cycle, and then some point in 2024 it was moved over to the Unreal Engine 5. Mixed with the fact that Randy Pitchford was saying that it's going to be an open world game, they're clearly aiming for the stars, but unfortunately it just feels a little too late, which on surface you might be like, oh shit, that's cool, but then you realize that Destiny had this about 10 years ago, and you remember that cars in Borderlands have never really been that great in the first place. And on top of that, the vehicle combat in the Borderlands franchise hasn't exactly been a strong suit either.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fucking true. That's how it is, dude.
So if there's going to be a bigger focus on traveling with this game's version of vehicles, then that's not exactly something that's exciting for me. It almost feels like, and this is coming from an Apple guy, it's like when we finally get something that Android users have already had for the better part of 15 years. So no, I'm not pumped about that, as the later games like Borderlands 3 have way too many big empty spaces as it is, and not a whole lot of personality to go along with it. And what I'm trying to get at is, vehicles in Borderlands have just always sucked, and for them to try and make them more involved in the formula of the game, that isn't good news. I digress, and I'm not here to just bitch, but this is another thing that I'm just like, why? Why? So other than Randy confirming that the game is very far along, we have this bit of news where a senior writer for Borderlands 4 tweeted out this iron skillet that he was given because, quote unquote, they fucking cooked.
Let me ask you a question. All due respect. Who's we?
Just Sam Winkler. Okay, alright, I get it. I understand. You're trying to get people hyped and interested in the game, but don't sell the hype too far, as we're all aware that Gearbox has to knock this out of the park. Because if they do not, there might not be another Borderlands game after, and we're already aware that Gearbox lost a lot of money last year. Whether it was the several failed products, like the novel that picks up the story of the OG Tales characters, which feels like it was completely forgotten overnight, or this Wonderlands comic book, which, yeah, let's be real. Not one of you bought this damn thing, did you? Don't worry, I didn't either. And the Borderlands movie. Yeah, I don't even think we need to go there, do we? Money-wise, I'm sure the movie was more of a loss for Lionsgate than it was for Gearbox, but it's hard to say that Gearbox and the Borderlands reputation as a whole didn't take a hit from that complete and utter dumpster fire. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that the release date is going to be announced very soon, but when do you guys think that we will see Borderlands 4 release? I'm still seeing a summer release date, but I'm curious to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But that's really going to do it for me today, and if you were wondering at all where the Randy Pitchford documentary is at, well, last month I kept finding more and more controversies that this man has been involved in which multiple of them actually take place before his days at Gearbox. So my original cut of the doc that I was working on needed to actually be reworked, and I just didn't end up liking the pacing that it had after inserting the beginning of the story, as the initial beginning to the documentary that I had been working on started around more like the middle of Randy Pitchford's story. To put it bluntly, the CEO of Gearbox is a lot like an onion, full of many layers of secrets that I'm still in the process of peeling apart, which is what ultimately led me to the decision to scrap the original documentary and start from scratch. Now I know this is going to come as a big disappointment to those of you who are looking forward to learning more about Randy Pitchford, but just know that the original would have only given you half of the real story. Now that I've sat back and collected all of the information necessary, including the receipts, I'm now more confident than I ever have been in telling the full story of one Randy Pitchford. Every lie, every valley, and every pitfall. So keep a lookout, because I want to get that out very soon. But until then, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video until the end. And if you did enjoy it, please consider smashing the like button or subscribing if you guys are new. I've got another video coming out this Friday, so keep a lookout for that. And please go check out my last two if you haven't already. I really like the way those last ones came out, but last and certainly not least, I don't expect anyone to become a channel member, but if you do, you will now have these unique badges that I've now made to show how long you've been supporting the channel for. So new members start with the Moxie's tip jar, and then you got a wad of Benjamin Franklin's by month 1, and a flood of money by a year, and eventually you will get the legendary and pearlescent money. Just something extra for those of you who choose to help out, and it's only $4.99, but like I said, never feel like you have to do that. But with that, I want to thank my Borderlands Bens for going that extra mile to help out the channel, and hopefully you guys are keeping warm out there, because god damn, it's way too cold. Whether it's Big LMAO RPG, Tony Owen, Slayer75, Serious Andre, the legend himself Day, or any of you that are out there just simply liking, commenting, and appreciating the videos here, know that I love you all to death, and I want you to take it easy out there. Stay safe, and with that, I will see you all in the next one.